Hello everyone, today I am going to start JMeter Beginner Tutorial Series 3, that is how to use listener. Whenever I say listener, first thing comes in mind, what is listener. So keep in mind, after doing the performance test, the result which are going to store in some elements, those elements are basically called listeners. Okay, so before starting any test in JMeter, we need to basically open the JMeter. So how to open that? Click this jmeter.bat file and your JMeter will open. So now our JMeter is open. Okay, and we need to basically add the listener here. So this already I have added, so I'm going to first remove it and I'm going to add my first listener now. So first listener I'm going to add basically the same view results in table. So after adding this, we need to run it. So when I run it, it's always a good practice. You remove all your older tests and run it now. So when you run it, let's see what will happen here. See, green status mean to say the result is passed and whatever the sample we have sent, we have got the response for that. Okay, this you see here thread name. The thread name is basically you see here 1112 or 13, right? So mean to say here this is basically iteration 1 for user 1, iteration 1 for user 2, iteration 1 for the user 5 here, right? Few things you will notice here. The most important thing you will notice here, the latency, right? Latency is what I let you know. Basically latency is basically whenever you send your request, your sample, and when you see the first response of your first byte, that is basically your latency. So I explain it more, and if you will see here, so basically here, suppose you are sending the request and your sample time is basically 5000 millisecond, right? So when you are sending your first request, the sample time is basically 1000 millisecond and it is headed to server and you get the first response. Suppose if you get the first response in 1020 milliseconds, that is your first response of your sample. That is basically called the latency. Keep one more thing always in mind. Always the total response time will be more the latency, because the latency is always the response of your first byte. Now, and if you see the sample time is basically what? To hit the server. To hit the first byte is going to hit the server. That is basically your sample time. This is your connect time. Connect time is what? When your first request is going to connect to your server. Now we have to discuss another listener. Basically that is your view results in table. If you see, I have provided the steps here, and in step I will provide in the description also. Okay, so nothing to worry here. The second response, the second listener, we are going to use basically the view results in tree. So how to see that? Go here. Okay, add your first listener. And remove all your older result. Okay, and let's see what happened here. See, we have sent the 5 sample, 5 response we have got it. This is the sampler result, this is the request what we are sending, and this is the response data like what we are getting in the HTML format. 200 response code came, mean to say our request is successful and we have also got the response for that. Okay, now after that we need to see some more listener. Basically that is your aggregate report here, right? So we are going to clear all older result and we are going to run it again. If you see in the view resulting table, you see the 5 sample here. In the aggregate report, what they have taken or they have done, they are basically showing here the average sample. The average sample was 5, so it is showing, and the average time it has taken 3,665 millisecond. And you see the median here, right? Median mean to say half of the sample has taken less than this time, that is 3812 second, and half of the sample has taken more than this time. And also you see here 90% of sample has taken less than 3929 second and 95% sample has taken 3990 second. If you see here the 99% sample and the maximum time is same because we are just reaching to the 100%. If you see here the error is 0 because we have got the response here, right? Now, one more important term you are seeing here, that is basically your throughput. Throughput is what basically how many bytes we are sending per second. So we are sending 1.1 bytes per second. After seeing this aggregate report, we are going to see one more. After having aggregate report, we are going to add one more listener, that is basically your summary report. So go in the summary report. We are going to clear all the result now, and what we can do here, we can store our result in some local folder. How we can do here, I have created one folder in my local drive and given the name the summary report or CSV file. Whenever you store any result, keep in mind you have to store in CSV file. So go here. Okay, now this is, you see it is showing some result because I have run it earlier also to test all the things before starting this tutorial. So I'm going to clear this off now and I'm going to run it. So when I run it, see it is giving a 3 option to you, right? So I'm going to override the existing file because I'm not interested in appending an existing file. The same result is going to append. Let's see, it's running now and the execution is completed. Okay, and now we have to see the result, right? So I have kept the result basically in the app drive. So what I do here, I go here, I see the summary report file is created. Okay, you can open this file and you can see the result. Whatever you are seeing in the GUI, the same result it is showing here. Okay, now we have to see some more listener. The next listener we are going to basically add is your simple data writer. Okay, the simple data writer, you cannot see anything in the GUI. You have to give the location where you wanted to keep, you wanted to store your result. The result is directly going to store there. So go here again. I have created the simple data writer. I have created the simple data writer.csv file. Okay, clear all your older result and run it now. So whenever you run it, let's see what happened. Again the same option. So it's completed now and you can see your result again now here. See, there the GUI option is not there, but you can see your result, like what is the label, what a timestamp, connect time. And now we are going to see more interesting listener, which will show you the result in the graphical way. So how to do that? Go in the add section, add the listener graph results. Before executing test in the graph results, I wanted to discuss few things here. You can see here the throughput, deviation, median, average data all are in a different color. So why this is in a different color, I let you know. Whenever you run the test, the graph or the dot will start to come here. That will be in the different color. Okay. So as we have discussed, we have to change some settings first. So go here, change the virtual user trolley, make the ramp up period 5 and loop count we make it for forever and we save it. So clear all your So clear all your older results. Let's see cleared or not. It is clear. Okay, so run it now. So you see here it is asking the override file for the summary report and again for the simple data writer. Why? Because we have already taken this sample, we have not disabled or removed it. So you see here, based on the color, the dot will start here. Okay, but I am only interested in average and the throughput, so I am not going to use this data, not going to take this median, not going to take this deviation. Now you will see here what will happen. Here first the throughput will be high, the reason behind that we are going to hit the request one by one. So the throughput, why it will be high? There will be cache memory will be created. Okay, and then what will happen? Initially the average time will be high because there's a lot of requests we are going to add here. Now after some time what will happen? This average and the throughput will intersect each other and the throughput will be high because of cache memory. So wait for a few seconds, you will see the result after some time. So as we were discussing initially, your average time will be high, and after that whenever the request we are sending continuously, what will happen? Average time will be low here and your throughput will be high because of cache memory. So this graph will run continuously because we are running it for infinite time. So this was all about for our listener what we wanted to discuss here. If you are liking my video, please subscribe. It is needed to boost me, and thanks for watching.